Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Anderson and I'm your instructor for long-term managed care. Welcome. I wanted to do a quick overview of the course, and because I find that if you take the time to become familiar with the links and the various aspects of the course early on, then when you have time to do your assignments, you are not spending time trying to figure out what you're supposed to do and where you're supposed to go. So just a brief overview. So I am in Meet Your Instructor link. This is where this video is, obviously. I've got information about myself and about the course. And make sure you check out the syllabus. Click on this link and download it. It's basically a contract between students and their instructor. On the home page, very important to read all announcements. I post a lot of announcements which also send you an email to your Kaiser email address. I actually download Outlook on my phone so that I can see your emails right away. And so either forward your Kaiser email to the email that you access all the time, or be sure you check it, because I do submit announcements which sends email. So you want to keep up to date on that because it's information that you're going to need to know. Then in the discussion, so just like in other courses, you have a discussion every week. Oh, by the way, please post an introduction. I posted mine, and then I ask you several questions. Very helpful in the online environment for me to get to know you, what your background is, what your goals are, what you want to, where you are in your program, and what kind of responsibilities you have outside of your coursework. And it helps your classmates too, so that we get to know each other a little bit. So for each discussion, this is not your first course, I know, so you're going to be answering all of the topics in each discussion. And for full credit, as you know, discussions require posting on 3 separate days for full credit, citation for your initial post, as well as your 1 response post. But obviously, anytime you use a resource, you need to cite it. Very, very important. And then in this course, in week 1, 2, and 3, you also have a project, which is reading a case study in your textbook and responding to questions, giving your opinion, your views, backing them up with information. And so that for weeks 1, 2, and 3. And then for week 3, you actually have a LearnScape. Under the Start Here link, if you're not familiar with LearnScapes, be sure you read this information. It gives you a lot of information about how to access your and redeem your access code, and then how to get started with LearnScapes. So if you bought your textbook from Kaiser Bookstore, I believe you received 2 10-digit codes. One of them is for some additional online resources, and only one of them is the 10-digit code for the LearnScape. That's the one that you want for your assignments in this course. And for the LearnScapes, then you're going to go to a different website. You're going to go to jblearning.com. I actually use 1Password. Saves me a lot of time, so don't have to remember all these passwords. So I've already redeemed my access code, but when you first sign on, it's going to ask you for your 10-digit access code. You'll set up with your username and password, and then every time you go in, you'll have access. So here's the LearnScape access for HSA 4222. If you haven't done this before, you're going to be launching an open enrollment course. When you redeem your access code, there is no course ID. And then for this course, you have 2 different LearnScapes. The second one is actually your LearnScape for week 3, and then the first one here, expansion, is your LearnScape for week 4. So to start the LearnScape, you click on it, click here to launch, and then depending on the type of computer you have, you click here to start lab access. You will see if you have to initialize your flash. So be sure you do all this before week 3, so that if you have any tech issues and need to upload the newer flash version or whatever, or have to call tech support to get them going, be sure you do that before week 3, so that by the time you have time to work on the assignment, you know that it will be ready to go. So for the Macintosh, I actually have to click on this little red square every time. It says run flash this time, otherwise it won't load. Some computers require that and some don't. So LearnScapes are 3D simulations. Very relevant, very well done, really good experience that you should be able to use to update your resume. And there's also a menu toggle here so that while you watch the different scenes, they will actually type in key takeaways, which are some of the key points of the LearnScapes that you'll want to take advantage of. And there's also a transcript where it actually prints out the transcript of the interactions that you're having with the different people throughout the LearnScape. And so you may want to download the transcript or print it out if you want so that you can actually read it once you've watched it. In week 3, once you watch the LearnScape several times, you go to the week 3 link, and then you're actually going to be taking a quiz based on a lot of the key terms, a lot of financial terms, a lot of terms that a chief financial officer would use. Really important for healthcare administrators to understand these concepts. So in week 3, you'll actually click on the quiz here and take the quiz. And it's related to all the different concepts that you were listening to and responding to in the LearnScape. In the Start Here link also, besides the information on your LearnScapes, there's course resources, a lot of supplementary information. Dr. Miller is one of the instructors at Kaiser that put together a great presentation about writing and how to do proper citations, so take advantage of that. And then there's supplementary information about long-term care on how organizations need to submit a certificate of need to their state to get approval to build a long-term care facility, best worst states of long-term care scorecard, etc. And then if you click on this PowerPoints, it actually downloads in a zip file all the different PowerPoints for each of the chapters in your textbook. So take advantage of that, as that will help you prepare for your exams. There's a midterm in week 2, and then in week 4 there's a final exam and post-test, as well as a discussion and your LearnScape in week 4. So the Kaiser Lives, I can't stress enough how important the Kaiser Lives are in my courses, is that students always do better if they're able to join the Kaiser Live, which I usually hold on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll refer to announcements in case I have to change that, but that's usually when I do it. I try to do it at the beginning of the week so that you, before you get started in your work, that you know what's expected out of your assignments, you understand them, and then I discuss the key concepts from the chapters you're going to read in your textbook, so that when you do have a time to read the chapters, some of the concepts are familiar to you because you've heard me discuss them, and then when you start your assignments, you're very clear on the details of the expectations of the assignments so that you'll do really well. If you're not available Monday nights, then you will watch the recordings. They will all be recorded. And they will be listed here. I'll put together a little screencast to show you how to access the recording in case you're unfamiliar with that. All right, so just a quick overview. Again, I think this is a really important course. You know, the concepts of long-term care are important for everyone to understand, no matter what kind of career path you're going for. You know, the population in the United States is getting older, and because the baby boomers that were born in the 60s have either retired or are soon to retire. And the statistics of the percentage of people in the United States that are going to be elderly are growing with every year. So long-term care is so relevant to understand the needs. It's a booming business, it's a great career path, and it's just important for those of you that are educating yourself in healthcare arenas and healthcare administration to understand. So please email me if you have any questions. It's the fastest way for me to respond to you. There is an Ask Questions section under your discussion link, but again, I only see that when I'm logged into the course, into the discussion link. So for the quickest response, I have my phone with me just as you do, and I see that I received an email. So that is the fastest way. So email me with any questions, read all announcements, and watch the recordings or join the Kaiser Live sessions, and I think you'll have all the information that you need to do well in this class. So I look forward to working with you. Have a great week, and let me know if there's anything I can do to help.